So this is the big one. Newcastle United play Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. Over the season, this has just been a normal game, but this one it could be life-changing for Newcastle United. This is the best opportunity we are going to get to not guarantee, but to give us even more hope of getting top 4 in Champions League football. On the other hand, we could let Tottenham be on the same point as us with one game in hand and let the last 7 games be a cup final for every single one. It's a massive one on Sunday. This is going to be a little bit like a preview like I normally do, but it's going to be a special one. So let's get into it now, boys. Let's speak about this massive game on Sunday between Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur. So then, obviously, this is such a massive game. It's absolutely massive. Firstly, let's look at the league table. Look how tight it is now, considering the results on the weekend. Thank God Bournemouth beat Tottenham, but if we look at the table in full, we are only 3 points ahead of Spurs, but they've got a lot more tougher games than us. We're at St James Park, but you can't judge anything on that. We are 3 points ahead of Tottenham. It is massive, this game. People don't understand at St James's Park, but obviously last week out for both teams, disappointing results. Newcastle got smacked, absolutely demolished, 3-0 by Aston Villa, and Bournemouth, Eddie Howe's old team, gave us a massive favour scoring in the 95th minute at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. No one would have thought Bournemouth could go there and pick up 3 points. Never even a point. They picked up 3 points, and if Spurs won, this would be even more of a big game, but being on joint points going into the game, but it's absolutely massive. It really, really is. It's such an important game. Newcastle United have got 8 games left of the season, including this massive one. 8 games left of the season, and this is probably the best opportunity to play Tottenham as well. Just got beat at Bournemouth. Tottenham have had a fair few injuries. Ben Davies was injured, Emerson Royale, Bentancur obviously out for the season, Sessegnon, Basuma, Lucas Moura was injured, suspended, but if you look at their bench, a lot of young players. A 24-year-old goalkeeper I've actually never heard of, Saw, 20 years old, 18 years old, 17 years old. I'm fucking 21 in next month, and these lads are sitting on the bench at the age of 17. Literally the only player on the bench, Davinson Sanchez, who actually got racially abused quite a bit in that game, which was horrible to see. It's disgusting. It really, really is. Davinson Sanchez, Dan Juma, Richarlison. That is it. They had 2 goalkeepers on the bench against Bournemouth. I've got to sort their ideas out. Yes, they had Harry Kane, Son, Kudelski, Perisic. Against this Newcastle team that I've got to bounce back against Spurs from that defeat against Aston Villa. I do fear for Spurs. I really, really do. Like, if you look at that Bournemouth team, that Billen playing as a calm, a 5 at the back as well, scoring 3 goals at the stadium. Dominic Solanke obviously scored and got 2 assists as well. Like, they went for Bournemouth, and if Bournemouth can beat them in that stadium, Newcastle can most definitely. Obviously only lost once at home at St James's Park all season, but like, this game is massive. I'm actually going away for the weekend. I'm luckily back on the Sunday for the game. If the game was on the Saturday, unfortunately I would have to miss it, but I'm going away on the Friday and Saturday, and I'll come back to Newcastle on the Sunday morning, get ready, get straight to the stadium and get the vlog up and whatnot. But this is just such an important game. People, it's not getting spoken about enough. I don't think people are sitting here, and I don't think people realise how important these 3 points could be for Newcastle, considering as well, which I don't think many people have probably realised. Obviously we play the Thursday after with Spurs. Spurs got Man United, which obviously is a massive game in itself, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But you look at that as well. Like, are they going to put it all out against Newcastle, knowing that 4 days later they've got to play Man United, which are arguably a better team than us? It's all down to Tottenham in this hands. We've had 9 days to prepare for this game. Same with Tottenham, obviously, but we have got to go into this game with full resilience and absolute power to make sure that we get them to get that win. And obviously, I think changes will happen to the team as well. This is just going to be one big talk about this game. Obviously, I know I've not done a preview of the team in a long time. It's just going to be one video. I'll explain the changes I do want in the Newcastle team. But for the Tottenham team going into the game, I can't really see much getting changed from that game against Bournemouth. I can't see many players coming in. Maybe it's Dan Juma because he got a goal. I can't see Richarlison starting. I can see that Son, even Kulusevski might even start. He might not even make a change. Who knows? But that is what I think. The Spurs, Newcastle on the other hand, really changed in that team from that game against Aston Villa. Eddie Howe said it himself. He went, just because players are playing in week out does not mean their place in the team is safe, which I completely agree, and I think that is aimed at a couple of players. Firstly, I think Dan Burn deserved to get dropped. He was good against Man United and good against the game after that. I can't remember who it was against, West Ham, but you've got to play a natural left back in my opinion, and I think Matty Targett deserves to come in. I think he'll be really frustrated seeing Dan Burn putting performances like this and he's not playing, so I can see him potentially bringing Matty Targett in. Longstaff's got to start. Who do you drop? Who do you drop in that midfield? Everyone was so hyped saying the Willock, Bruno and Joelinton midfield. It's a tough one to call, dude. Newcastle changed the system completely because over the last couple of weeks when we were playing 4-4-2, we look very good with Isaac and Wilson up top. We look a little bit more let's go for it and still got good cover on that midfield. I think Aston Villa just played us off the park, playing out wide, playing in the middle. We just couldn't handle the pace of how they were playing against us. But do you change to a 4-4-2 and go Bruno Longstaff in the midfield? I think Murphy will start. I think he's been good. He's probably the only decent player against Aston Villa, same with Isaac. And then do you play Joelinton on the left, but then that means you've got to drop Willock, where does he deserve to get dropped? Not really. From what I think he'll do, I think he'll go to he'll stick to the 4-3-3. I think Joelinton will go out on the left, Isaac up top, Murphy right wing, and in that midfield I think it'll be Bruno, Willock and Sean Longstaff and Anthony Gordon dropped, and I think that is deserved as well. Yes, he kicked off, and yes, he was like, well, I'm so passionate at the club because I want to play and I got fuming, right? Fair enough, right? But when you've been given that chance, right, no matter if it's against Aston Villa, Man City, Accrington and Stanley, you have got to perform. If you've been given that chance, it's your second start for your team and it's in April, you've got to perform, and he didn't perform. And it wasn't just like a couple of bad touches, got unlucky. He was shocking. He really, really was. I couldn't remember one good thing Anthony Gordon done. So for me, that should be the team. Obviously, I think Botman, Shaw, Trippier and Nick Pope will all start, but it's a massive game. I'm recording this on Tuesday night, and if I've got to say a prediction, obviously it's really early, we don't know about injuries and whatnot yet, going in from training or whatever. We've looked really good at home, and obviously like against Man United I was a bit sceptical, but obviously we beat them 2-0. If we can beat Man United at home and keep a clean sheet, we should be able to do the same against Spurs, but Spurs do love a good win at St James's Park over the years. Like the last recent years. I'll go for 2-1 Newcastle, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is a draw, like a 2-2 or a 1-1. Let's just wait and see what happens, boys. That is the end of the big preview for this game. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all for the game on Sunday. Away the lads.